And here on the executive stage, buongiorno, I would like to welcome my friends from my home country of Italy, Matteo Rosti, plant manager from Silgan Dispensing Systems. Good morning, and Roberto Ronzani from Instituto di Management. Good morning.
Good morning for people living.
The stage is yours, guys. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes.
It's okay. Good morning for all people living in Europe or in daylight, and good night and good evening for other people living in other parts of the world. As Roberto told you, I'm Roberto Ronzani, member of Lean Institute of Italy, and I'm here to introduce you Matteo Rosti, the plant manager of Silgan Dispensing. That is a company, international company with a plant in Milano area that produces dispensers for fragrance and lotions. And Matteo here is today here to tell us his story about leadership. So please, Matteo, can you take the button?
Yeah, thanks a lot, Roberto. Good morning to everyone. Good morning, Europe. And let's get started with a bit of Italian energy and a cup of coffee so we can really keep on going for such another part of a very long journey. This workshop, I think, has been very interesting since yesterday. So again, happy to be here and honored also to be able to have this opportunity to present the work that we are doing. So I start sharing presentation. As said, Roberto said, we have the opportunity to talk you and to guide through what has been done here in Silgan Milano. Silgan Milano is a company I work for. Just to give you an idea of the process of the company, if you look at the chameleon on the bottom left corner, that's exactly what we do, dispensers. Whatever you can have in your house, creams, lotions, fragrances, whatever, most probably that will be produced by one of our plant in Silgan. So that's the idea of the talking points we go through. We'll have a special focus on these activities that we've done in the past months and years in Milan. And sorry if there are some sketches that are in Italian. They're really part and pictured of what we went through. So I didn't take any willingness to translate them on purpose. So I don't want, of course, to go through them, but will be a pleasure to share them with you. So just to start the process and let you know a little bit about the level of maturity of the plant. I joined the company back in September 2011, coming with a little bit of lean background in a company that was basically a family-owned company, entering the multinational environment, acquired by an American multinational. And so basically lean was not even a known word. So I really started from scratch here. And I think that the great thing is that it was a new plant manager stepped in at the time with the willingness to change things and to really bring the company into a multinational environment. So we really have the opportunity to start doing something together. And by time we say, okay, we are doing the progresses, but at the end, we're not really in the big steps. And because we all know one or two persons cannot change the world, cannot change everything by themselves. So given the opportunity that we are a multinational company, we had the plant in Barcelona that was already applying lean for a while. So we said, let's start working with the company that helped Barcelona team to implement lean. So we bring them here. We started with the pilot, and definitely things were going better because when we start having support from people that are well aware of the topics, we start spreading and discussing. But of course, there was a little bit of difficulties, the translation to the Italian, the training of the Italian teams. So yes and no. At the end, we found the opportunity to relocate the plant in 2014. And at that point, we decided to start also the cooperation with the Italian Lean Institute of Management. So I think that helped a lot. We started that partnership for a very long time ago. Well, it's more than 10 years that we're working together. And by the time, of course, we start immediately seeing the benefits of this cooperation. So the situation starts getting better and better. We've seen our level of maturity increasing, and we are really the basics were really part of the organization. So we reach a point where we say it's time to do the next step and introduce the Oshinkari process. But at the same time, we have leadership change internally in the plant. So after an initial good start, again, something that we keep on doing, but over the time, things start stagnating. And we all know that if we don't do processes, I mean, we step back. So A number of years passed through, and we are just doing things as they were part of our standard and normal activities, but we are not really doing any improvement at all. On the other side, we are really going down and down and down. Back in 2022, we had the opportunity to have a new leadership change, and more than that, create a management team, an aligned management team focused with the willingness to do things differently, to change the stuff and the stagnation we were really in. So we took the opportunity with a lot of enthusiasm, we restarted. I was leading that team. At a certain point, okay, after 6-9 months, things are stagnating again. So that's the point, and I'm really happy to have the title of this main workshop of Lean is really rethinking. We really need to do something completely different. So we start the discussion with the Institute, and we had the opportunity to have to find really a guide. What we really need was a guide. And I don't know if all of you are familiar with Star Wars. That's the situation we fall in. So our Jedi Yoda sensei, whose guy doesn't want to be mentioned, but is Roberto's colleague in Italian Institute, guide us as a team, and me particularly, through a very difficult period. Honestly, I have to admit, it's been one of the toughest periods, work perspective, in my life. We have really to put everything under discussion. And again, if you're familiar with the saga Star Wars, if not, I really encourage maybe the youngest people to have a look at the series of films. And I mean, the sorrows, the tough period I went through to try to review everything and rethink everything in the organization has been really long, with a lot of downs, few ups. But at the end, we came up with the idea, okay, we need to start from the basis. So, of course, we started analyzing what's the problem we want to solve. Again, that's in Italian. I don't want to go through it for this day 3, but basically 2 key points to take out of that. The ocean curry was not a process anymore. It was just a situation where we are discussing, sharing information, but not really following a process. And that should be really the highest point of strategy, of company strategy review, but it was not. And again, more than that, every reflection, every year, every January, we were starting to say, okay, let's start with a lot of projects. I want to do this, I want to change that. But all of them were failing. We're not bringing them ahead. They were just stuck there after a few months, and nobody was looking at them. And we're reaching the end of the year, say, okay, what we've done this year? Nothing. Nothing of what we promised to do or we wanted to do in January. So that was really the starting point. But again, just because one picture is worth 1,000 words, this is exactly the situation we were in. Everyone was trying to do their best, rowing here, rowing there, putting a lot of efforts. Fact is, we were not coordinating. We are not going the same direction. We didn't have one common goal to reach. And more than that, we are really a situation where the entire organization, or let me say, not the company, luckily from a business perspective, but the structure itself was collapsing. You see the boat here. You see those guys completely absorbed and trapped into this vortex of daily activities and not having any idea where to go to. So again, we try to fix things. We start saying, okay, let's fix the roles, the responsibilities of everyone. What is the contribution that every department is giving to the entire organization? Let's focus on what we have to achieve as a company, all organized, everyone looking in the same direction, connecting it to the real mission and the real vision of the company, and bringing this organization out of the vortex we were in. And those sketches that you see here are still on the board in my office, and it is there to remind everyone who is entering the situation we were, and partially we are still in, but we started from all this journey. So last reflection, last January, we sat together and say, okay, what is the goal we want to achieve? Can we align everyone and everyone's objectives to the one crucial goal that really mattered for the company? And okay, that's a nice picture. I would really like to tell you the story that we're all sitting together and discussing in such a peaceful environment, very kind discussion. Do you want a cup of tea? Do you agree on this goal? Yes, why not? Yeah, that's not reality. That's a nice picture. That's the goal which we decided to put together to to achieve, but the idea was completely different. What was the real fucking important goal we want to achieve? It has been so tough as a rugby match. It has been so difficult to align everyone to be fixing themselves to have one common goal together. All the departments that have to have the same goal. All the projects need to be aligned to that goal. It was really a fight during that discussion, but it was necessary. It was necessary because we couldn't keep on rowing in different direction, or having people that were only looking at their own silos. We have to work all aligned on one fucking important goal. And that's what we reached. So I think it was key to have this discussion over there. We start developing our X matrix. So I will not share all the data that are sensible to that. We start our strategies. All the tactics, all the tactical A3 we developed were all connected to common goals, measured by KPI and owned by each single team member of the organization. And our goal was really to bring our lead time to the number that you've seen many times above. 14 was our nightmare, was our dream, was our obsession. We had this 14 everywhere. Every meeting we're starting 14 weeks. That was the goal we wanted to achieve. So again, we started from during the discussion, let's get out of the vortex, let's start from the X matrix. Those are all the A3 projects we need to put together. We start working everyone with their own A3, analyzing the situation. But again, the most important thing is we had all of them aligned. It was very different from the past, where we had projects here and there where everyone wanted to do something different, but we were not looking all the same mission. Here we have all the main projects of the year owned by team members of the management team or the leadership team, directed to do their job in their areas of responsibility, but going into the right direction of the common goal. So the key things, again, to be back to the main topics that we have looked at. So how to get really management out of the daily activities, out of the standard discussion that we have, or our daily firefighting, and really sort of not elevating them, but bringing them to do the job is expected by a leader. So again, we started from the motto diagram. I guess many of you, or I would say probably all of you, are well aware. So it was key really to work with the intermediate levels, with the middle management, with the supervisors, because too often was happening that the top management really pull down to solve every single problems that comes up every day. So it has been really tough, making sure that we are working on the right direction altogether, but really we have to create this intermediate level to make sure that everyone with the proper role have to do the proper activities, and they're expected to do to complete their organization. So it was really key to create those tactical teams that were needed to create this separation from the daily activities up to the long-term strategy. So again, this is an example of the structures of meetings we had in the past, but you can see it was really, okay, here maybe it's not so clear, but the management team was really involved in every meeting, especially what we call the tier 3, the daily operation meeting. And it was crazy having 22 people during that day, every day, half an hour all together to review every single daily activities. 22 people means, for half an hour means 11 man hour every single day spent in a meeting to solve daily activities. Means we are talking about 1.5 FTE dedicated to that meeting, especially again with all the leadership team involved in every single day. So we structure a different way. We start thinking, okay, how we can connect long-term evolution, how we can connect the strategies that are pulling together, and where leadership and managers, top management really need to work on, and the daily activities, the daily stuff, create the stability locally with the proper level of responsibilities and accountabilities, and then connect the two things. Here has been key really to drive and to change this the tier 3 meeting, because has been really the opportunity to separate the long-term evolution and the local stability driven by the local team. So I think it has been tough because we had to go through changes to discussion with the team, with discussion with 22 people that are thinking, okay, but now how can I raise my issue and no one is solving them? No, it's something different. You have to find a solution with them. What you can't solve by yourself, then will be escalated. But it can be every time to ask management team every single day how to solve the issues. So based on that, again, we went through the understanding that we had a very long session on why leaders get trapped. And going through it, we basically identified 4 key points. One was, okay, no boundaries, saying yes to everything. Everyone was pulling managers in because they wanted to have someone taking the decision on every activities, also the most stupid one. But because the manager is saying that, then it's worth it. There was no opportunities really to have a discussion on different levels. So managers were pulling and they were saying yes to everything. And we ended up in having a lot of other priorities that were not the key long-term priorities for the management team, and endless meetings, crazy. Lack of strategic time, quite connected to that, but really here is where we say, okay, if you want to look for strategic thinking and look in long term, we need to block some time. We have a dedicated session for the management team. We have a dedicated session. Each of us is blocking their calendar at least half a day during the week. Probably it's not that much yet, but at least it's a step towards the right direction. And making sure that during that time, we think strategically. We're not trapped down. We close the doors. We start just thinking of what we can do to improve the situation, to bring the organization to a different level. How can I get to the long-term objective that we set together? And then, of course, two bad habits that came out during the internal discussion and brainstorming: the hero mentality. Everyone feel like that power of adrenaline and endorphins when we solve problems, because I'm doing myself as well sometimes, of course. I'm not perfect at all. So, but that's not the right approach. I mean, it's not the superhero that is coming like Batman or Superman, coming here, solving the problem, running away, and then what? I mean, we're not improving the organization. We're not doing anything. We're just doing for ourselves and for that sort of situation that we feel, because we feel happy of having fixed something. And okay, I feel myself proud, I've done something good, and today I made my day and I can go home happy. But it's not the case. That's not what leadership should do. Last thing, but still very, very dependent to that, the dependency. Of course, when management comes in, when leadership and leaders come in, what happened? Team members just stop developing any idea. They step back. They say, okay, I have a problem. I call my manager. They solve it. I don't care. And what are we doing to do that? I mean, we're not developing our people with that. We're just doing things. And that's not the right case. That's not what we should do. So we really step back and say, okay, if you have to work on these main problems of main focus or traps that are bringing all the leadership team having daily firefighting, we need to do something different. We need to change. And again, what are we trying to do to get out of it? And here again, sorry, I always forget about my Yoda sensei saying, no, there is no try. Either we do or we don't do. Okay, what are we doing to get out of it? So that's probably the right phrase to put together. So aligning everyone to what really matters. So not all meetings are needed. I don't care. We can say no. We can forget some meetings. We can step back and say, okay, just go ahead. Let me know what your decision is. We don't need to be involved at all. Stay focused. Take our time. Again, as I said before, step back, have time to think on long term. That's what really leaders should do. We don't have to do everything every day and could be connected every time to all what we need, all that is happening, sorry. Teamwork. I mean, let's start teaching and coaching others. We are not the superheroes. I mean, no one will thank us or will give us a high five because we have fixed the situation. We're just not helping our people to grow. We're not helping anyone to learn something new, and they're able to do it next time. And probably they will not call us, and they will fix by themselves. That is exactly what we need to do. And again, connected to that, develop accountability at every level of the organization. Again, most probably the key role are the intermediate role, making sure that they are accountable people, that they can bring the results by themselves, they can fix the problem, they can find solutions, they can develop solutions with their teams. And of course, if they cannot or there are troubles, they can raise it to the top level. That's exactly the purpose. We don't need to step back and leave them alone. On the other side, we need to coach them, making sure they can do, every problem can be fixed at the right level of the organization. And only by doing that, we can really do what we need. We can really achieve our goal, and we can really do exactly what we fixed. And if the question is how things are going and where are we now, here where we are. We're just by being there. It's 2 months away before the end of the year, and we're so close to being at our goal. We will do that, I'm sure. I mean, most probably by November, we'll already be there. And this is exactly the time where we need to celebrate. And because that's exactly the thing that is showing that once we are all coordinated, we get out of our daily activities, we all row in the same direction, properly coordinated and with a common goal, we can achieve our goals. Is tremendously right. Okay, presentation is over, but I want really to bring another slide in, because last Sunday, I worked on the presentation last weekend, and on Sunday evening, I sat on the table with my 5-year-old daughter doing a Lego snowman to be hanged on the Christmas tree in a couple of weeks. It's very simple. I am really a Lego fan, honestly, but for us was like this. For her was really the second Lego assembly to be done. And all of a sudden, we are working together and putting things together. And she said, "Dad, I can't do it. I don't know how to do it. Do it for me, please. I want to have it done." Say, "No, sorry." I step back and say, "I worked 4 hours on this presentation, talking about leadership, helping others. Why should I do it by myself?" And so I start saying, "Wow, you are so clever, so nice in spotting the differences. So which is the difference between this image and the following one? Okay, this green piece. Okay, let's put this green piece together. This green piece exactly what is needed. Oh yeah, it works. Yeah. And then what's the next one? And what then?" And I show her really at the very beginning what really was the final goal, this complete snowman to be assembled together. And once she completed it, really, it was so nice. She took it in her hand, ran to her mother and said, "Mommy, Mommy, I did it by myself. Everything. I'm so proud of doing it." Really, that has been really the best result I achieved in doing this presentation. And I think really that closing with the phrase really connected to that, leadership is really unlocking people's potential to become better. So. Presentation is over, really. Also, this last slide a little bit out of the meeting, but if there are any questions, I'm really happy to answer them. I think Roberto, you're mute.
Thank you, Matteo. Thank you for your presentation that has been really exciting, and you are receiving some compliments not only from me, but also for other people attending this presentation. And I also appreciate one more thing, that the passion you are putting in this presentation, that means how much was your involvement in this in your story.
It has been really tough, believe me, really tough.
Your experience was very, very important for you. But there are also 3-4 questions that I can tell you. One come from Chris. From Chemo. Yes, Chris Fowry. How easy was it for your manager to step back and let go for some meetings, especially for operational meetings at a lower level? This is the first question.
Everything but easy. And believe me, still now, sometimes I challenge them and say, "Why are you going to that meeting?" And it's not easy really to get out of that. We really need to think every time. Every meeting request we receive is, okay, what's my role in that meeting? Am I there just to listen? Is there a decision to be taken that I need to take, or is something for my information? This for my information, I step back, I will not join the meeting, let the right people meet, take the decision, and eventually communicate to them. Let me know how it's going there. Now I think that with the new version of Office, there is an extra button on the meeting request that is not only accept, decline, or probably attending. It is also follow. It's fantastic. Follow means I will not join the meeting, but let me know the answer. Let me know the outcome. I start using a lot in the last 2 weeks, but exactly, it's not easy really. Everyone needs to think what's really the purpose of that meeting, what's the role that I'm playing in that meeting, if I'm really needed. Because too often we say, okay, I invite 5, 6, 10 people because so everyone can say or can give an input. It's not needed everyone's input to take decisions.
Okay, just a technical matter. Can you stop the sharing of your so people can see
everyone's
can see you directly?
Yeah.
Okay. A second questions. Okay, a second question is about from Kimo Kalionimi. And is this approach applied with other plants and countries too, or only Milano?
No, we have almost every country is working on ocean carry. We didn't also many other plants. We still don't have a common approach. Means we are not doing exactly the same things everywhere. But I think this is also a little bit of a plus because we are not exactly the same. We have different needs. We have different organization. We have different structures. We have to find a sort of our way to do it. Maybe with a common framework. That's something important we need to align on. Especially because Silgan has grown through acquisition, so we have very different inputs over time, and we will need to find a common goal. But what we do is having sort of best ideas sharing twice per year. Many of the times that we have, especially the plant manager staff, ocean carry is one of the topics that is on the table very often.
Okay, another question from Madhu Lear. Strategic thinking, that is something that needs to be taught, I think. What are the skills like systems thinking needed to be brought instead of jumping into the symptom solving?
It's very easy to jump in. So it's not something we learn. Strategic thinking, I think I'm still a very young learner on that. I feel it's really like the Luke Skywalker Padawan that is not a Jedi yet. So it requires a lot of time. I strongly suggest to have someone skilled coaching the top management, coaching everyone, because it helps really a lot. I think with you, Roberto, with your colleagues, we have found this opportunity to partner for such a long time is really beneficial. It's not only developing internally all the relationships or the knowledge, but also having someone that has the opportunity to look outside, to see what happens outside, and to bring also some extra knowledge to the organization and guiding really the top management.
Okay, one more question. Did you have any issues with top management to start changing mindset and using metrics to trigger ocean carry approach? If yes, how you managed those issues?
We had, of course, well in the past. Sometimes happens also that we still have, but it's a matter of, again, rowing the right direction. I think in the past, no surprises. One guy decided to step out. It was his decision. He was finding the organization too different for him. So he just said, okay, I step back and we find a new one that is perfectly aligned, is working very well. But I think is again a matter of having a common goal and rowing everyone in the same direction.
Okay, the time is almost finished, so sorry for other 2-3 questions that we don't have time to answer in this moment because the 7 seconds.
Happy to follow up personally.
Okay.
Perfect. Hello, guys. Thank you very much. Thank you for the presentation, Matteo. Thank you, Roberto. Good to see you both. Have a good day.